Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me. We're watching another episode of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood today. This is episode 27, Interlude Party. Guys, last time it was a sick episode. It was awesome. So, recapping, we learned a lot actually. So I'll just try to go off in whatever order. We got answers about Xerxes and what happened to that entire nation, that whole society, totally wiped out in order to create a philosopher's stone, it seems, and I think maybe used to create envy or something. I don't know. All their bodies are inside of Envy's stone. They were all used to create his philosopher's stone. So that was pretty crazy reveal. I was not expecting that one. And it was actually the ruins of Xerxes that were inside of Gluttony's belly, fake door, the area. Al and Gluttony are currently on their way to meet Father, it seems. I feel like it's not gonna go quite like that. They cut off before we saw whatever it was that Al saw. I don't know. If that turns out bad, I think Scar and May, because they're trying to find Xiao Mei, I think they're gonna be there to help out somehow. Hopefully this is a positive, whatever's happening here, because it looks like one. But maybe not, I don't know. On Roy's side of things, he got Bradley's entire backstory, which was insane. I didn't expect us to learn that much about Wrath, about Bradley, about how he was created, how he was like a whole different person before he was turned into Wrath. That raises so many more questions. But also, it's kind of something that I realized during editing is that I feel like they're playing a lot with the idea of what is human, because I feel like they've been humanizing the homunculi for a while, at least a little bit. They still make efforts to show that they're not the same as humans, and they got their own values. And then there's, on top of that, we spent all last episode, each of our group members spent time with one of these sins, and it ended up being Gluttony's kind of cooperating with Al. I don't even know if you could call Al manipulating Gluttony. He's just telling him what to do, and Gluttony's agreeing. Ed and Envy kind of end up working together to escape, which, I'll get to that, but they do. And then I mentioned last time how they've kind of been playing, I feel like, I don't know, but I feel like they've been playing with the idea that maybe Bradley, Wrath, whatever you want to call him, could end up being more on the human side of things. Just from what I've seen, it feels like they're going to great lengths to make sure he shows that he doesn't feel that way, but this being a show and everything, I could totally see it going that way. Him having actual human relationships, aging like a human. He's the closest to a human that any of these homunculi are, so that is just an interesting possible direction that I think this could go. And it just, plays into this other stuff. We've also had the idea of not just the homunculi being human, but is the soul still human? Are you still human if you're just a soul like Al? That's something that Envy mentioned to Ed last time, that Ed wanted to believe that those already consumed souls that were inside of the Philosopher's Stone, of all those humans of Xerxes, that they were still human. And then Envy tried to say that he just wants to believe that Al, who's in somewhat of a similar situation, is also still human. And he definitely believes that. And Envy's just kind of an asshole. So, but yeah, you got the soul, you got chimeras. None of them are none of those human unless you're actually a human. I feel like they've been seeding these kind of notions for a while now, and it's pretty interesting. I don't know where to take it yet, but it's something that I've noticed. This is just a pattern. And then yeah, of course, Ed, like I said, he did find a way for them to escape. It was a pretty cool way. He went and followed his limbs at the real door, I guess, and then deconstructed all of them and plans to reconstruct them all on the outside. While he was doing that, he saw a second door. He saw one with Al's body in front of it, his whole body that's just still been there this whole time, which is pretty crazy. And then he said something interesting, Al. He said, the human Al, he said that he couldn't come back with Ed because Ed was not his soul. So maybe it'll be a mission of some kind to get Al to his body, back to the door. I'm not sure, but even the fact that there's two doors at all is pretty interesting. I don't know if that means that everybody has their own door or what, but I didn't expect that. Just a lot more questions, but also some pretty cool info dumps that I always find interesting in this show. So yeah, big deal, big stuff happening, and I've been very excited to get into this one. I'm sure you want me to just finally start now, but there's a lot to get through, right? So, like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, anything, things that I miss. I've been getting sometimes kind of confused in this show, all right? There's a lot of stuff happening, but it's really enjoyable. I'm doing my best, but I make mistakes, so I get worried about that. But yeah, drop a comment if there's anything you'd like me to know, and I think that's about it. All right, let's start. This is Interlude Party, episode 27. Let's hit it. Interlude does not make me feel good, though. That sounds like filler, kind of. I haven't heard about any filler episodes in this series, so... Oh! Nope, this is interesting. What are you doing, homie? Oh, what the hell? Y'all look the same age. He looks the same age. As he does in the present. That's Pinako? Oh! Okay. I'm gonna go back through at the end of this and watch the first OP all the way back through again. I always watch these once and then don't watch them again until the next one. But they have straight spoilers in these, and so I get scared. See, I just saw... This is a bit too much. I'm about to skip this. I'm skipping. We're skipping. I just saw Kimberly. Anime intros, man. Young Pinako. Why is he like the same age? It looks like it anyway. Sounds like lust. Hughes. Is this filler? Yep. Alright, man. Dude's just never been good with kids, I guess. Dude, why? I guess they just aged Pinako like crazy. I guess I'm getting... That's fucking with my timeline right now. Yeah, so it's kind of like recappy, but I like that we're getting Hohenheim in it. I guess if it's got like a new OP, it'd be like the beginning of an arc. So I guess maybe this is recapping all that for the new arc. And I know his body's just been sitting in front of that door, man, aging all this time. Why is Pinako so young? That's got me so like, is this real? Yeah, okay, something's going on. Huh.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yeah. Dude, it actually fucked me up when these guys died. I was upset about it. They were kind of cool. The same deal. Damn, I kind of miss Lust. This is pretty helpful because I kind of forgot about some of the things they were saying back in the 5th lab. So all those who've seen the truth, the door of truth. Well, so Roy, that's the other thing. That's kind of what I've put together, but maybe that's not it. Maybe it's those who are capable? Because Roy hasn't seen it, has he? Yeah, Hughes was onto it before anybody, man. Y'all remember when I thought Hughes was fake dead for like so many episodes? Yeah, she's not actually there, is she?
長い間俺は見てきた。何度も同じ過ちを繰り返す人間の
How long?
そしてその度に逃げるしかない非力な姿を。
Oh.
とても脆い。
言ったはずよ。賢者の石が核だと。ホムンクルスだ。
We didn't get enough of greed.
誰だおっさん。
This fight was so crazy. I don't really have a ton more to say about all this because I feel like I talked about it a lot. It's, you know, filler episodes. They are how they are. Okay, he knows all about that. Yeah, like, are they just the same guy? That's cool. The fire in the glasses. Yeah, they're very resilient and they persevere. It's like the angel and devil on his shoulder.
ならば大事なものだけ抱え、とっととよそへ逃げた方が賢明だとは思わんか？くだらん干渉か？なあ、ホーエンハイム。どれだけ思っても、今さら誰もお前を受け入れはしないぞ。見ろ、自分の顔を。
He definitely views himself as a monster. Dude, this is pretty interesting, man. Is that their mom?
だからこそ強くなろうって頑張れる。あなたには無駄に思える歩みでも何かを確実に積み重ねていってるものよ。
下の者がさらに下を守る。小さな人間なりにそのくらいはできるはずだ。
たくさんだ。もう誰も殺させない。守ってみせる。真理の野郎をぶっ飛ばして、あそこからお前の体を引っ張り出してやる。
This shit's still so sick, man. When I first saw her, I was wondering that if that was like their mom. I'm pretty sure it is, isn't it?
人は強くなれるのよ。あなたの心が迷うなら思い出してみて。私たちと過ごしたリゼンブールでの日々を。
He's so interesting, man. Really good way to do a recap episode because it's also a Hohenheim episode, a mini one. I don't know what to say about that right away, to be honest. Really cool, though. So immediately I was confused about whatever was going on here, because she was talking first time we saw, I mean, she's obviously way too young to have known about Ed and Al, so I was just like, alright, I don't know what's going on, I'm just gonna let it tell me. But it all makes sense now that he was just dreaming, he was drunk. And these must all be things that he was thinking about, you know? And I very much got the vibe of, like, you know, the kind of angel and devil on his shoulder, I guess. Or, I don't know, I guess his conscience would be Pinako, which is a cool little bit of character development for him, that he kind of views Pinako as moral compass, I guess. She said that they were drinking buddies or whatever, so I guess it also makes sense that she's someone that he thinks of when he's drinking. But I get the vibe that these are the kind of conversations that they might have had if they were close, you know. And then he shows up himself without the jacket, without the glasses, because he's talking like a very cold about people, and talks. He calls them resources and stuff. Speaks like a scientist, like one of these crazy state alchemists. Like he sounds like Show Tucker. You know, he sounds like that jackass, and he sounds like Father. And it still gets me confused why he looks like Father. I feel like when it showed him without the glasses and all of that to me just kind of looked like the guy that they call Father. And so, I don't know. It's got me wondering if Father really is their father, but why is he so old? Man. This episode was so interesting, but I don't know what to do with any of it, man. Because it's never ever been a secret that Hohenheim just literally, you're supposed to make that connection, that he looks like Father. You know, he looks like the old dude. But why is he not him, kinda? Why is he here? Why does he seem to... I don't know, I don't know, man. I don't know. The more I click through this, the more confused I get. Like, why does he sound like he's going against himself, you know? That's kind of what it seemed like even in this episode. Like, is Father like some sort of alter ego of his or something, you know? Or is Father like his true body, and this is like some other form or something? It's kind of like they're the same person, but not. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. But you can't tell me that this dude, this other version of him that starts talking to him, like, it can either represent, like, you can't tell me that's not Father. Like, that version of him seems exactly like who that other dude is. You know? I don't know how they're related, if they're actually the same person, or if they're like, if that's his father. That could be a thing. Like, maybe that's Ed and Al's grandfather. I mean, I guess that would be one of the most like logical explanations, is that Father is Hohenheim's father, I guess, if there's not some weird like immortality shit going on, because the ages throw me off. But it could be that this other version of Hohenheim that he's talking to isn't just like a depiction of his regrets of the person that he fears he is, or regrets that he was, that it is like him remembering his own father, and that somehow he just grew up to look exactly like him. I have no idea. That's not exactly what I think, though. I think that it is himself, and it might be something from his past or whatever kind of coming through here. But the most interesting thing is when he unmasks Pinako as actually himself, trying to convince himself, you know, against like all of these, would you call that nihilism? The way that he talks about humans? I don't know. It's very cold, and like it's without any hope for them to change. Whatever this bad event it is that he is trying to prevent, that he mentioned before, it seems like he seems to think that there's no real hope of preventing it. At least that's like something he might think deep down. And this is him kind of like in a way sort of confronting it, not seemingly in a healthy way, because he's like, it's in a drunk dream. But I guess not unlike the humans he talks about, and not unlike his own son, you know, maybe that's where Ed and Al get it, his own sons. He finds a way to persevere despite, you know, the odds against him. He's very much human himself, and I think that this episode confirms that much, at least, that he gives the vibes of someone who knows too much, and he's kind of looking as an outsider upon all of these other humans. But he has those kind of human traits himself. He's also one. So I'm kind of bullshitting, rambling through all this because it was kind of abstract, and also just a recap episode for half of it. So it's kind of like chopped up into like, I don't really know. I did a lot of fucking rambling. I was kind of just like spitting out, throwing up ideas that were coming to me. don't really know what to do with most of this episode. It was cool though. I'm probably gonna upload it onto the channel. It'll probably be a short one, but yeah, that was a pretty cool recap episode. We got some cool stuff about Hohenheim, and the more that they show him, the more interested. I've always been really interested in him, but I think he's definitely the most interesting character now. In the series, just because there's so much mystery behind him, and he definitely knows. He seems to know the most of pretty much any of our characters. Also, the mom. Like, we never saw Hohenheim as, like, they show the mom when she was younger, meaning that he would have known her when she was younger. Does that mean that he's known her like since he was a kid, or does he like not age? Because he does look the same age in just about everything. He looks like Pinako's age when they're together, and he looks the same, like in that picture, I swear, when she looks young, and then he looks the same when they were kids as to now. I have no idea, man. And then there's that thing in like the first opening where I swear that's actually just Hohenheim as a kid, and it's not Ed or Al. So I have no idea, man. I just need this dude's backstory, alright? I can't do the theory crafting shit because I don't understand what's going on most of the time. I just need this dude's backstory. Why do the humans need saving? Why are they beyond saving? He makes it sound like it's gonna be of their own making or something. I don't know. Why is it so hopeless, Hohenheim? Why? This episode only made me feel stupid, can't lie, but I loved it, so that's all I got. All right, thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, like the video, and I'm out of here. All right, I'll see you next time. Peace.